Morning everyone, it's Audrey, Stitchy Witch 42. It is Monday, December 9th. This is my 90th video. I have been so busy the last couple weeks. I have not been doing much stitching at all. I haven't been watching a lot of floss tube. I kind of fell down a rabbit hole in YouTube, and I'm going to be exploring that. Yeah. So the last time we talked, it was right before Thanksgiving, or Feast of Bird, as I refer to it. My family had a fantastic Thanksgiving at my daughter and son-in-law's house, and then my daughter Aaron, my son Philip, Aaron's friend Hannah, and I played a cutthroat game of Pirates of the Caribbean Monopoly. We were pillaging, we were plundering, we were laughing, we were stealing, cheating, lying. We were being pirates, and it was fantastic. What else have I done since then? Oh my God, it just, the last 2 weeks have kind of been a blur because I got my new Christmas tree. I decided to go with a pencil tree, meaning that it's narrower. It is, well, here. You can see it's narrower. It's 6.5 feet tall. And it comes down to 29 inches at the bottom of it. There, that's a good spot. You see a little bit of everything. Looks festive. So, my tree showed up last Monday. I decided to go with the smaller tree because my big one that I usually use would be right here where I'm sitting. And the new chair that I bought last year, my house is not that big. My living room is not that wide. And the way we've been able to move furniture in years past to accommodate the big tree right here, in order to do that this year with my new chair, which is a recliner, I would be sitting directly in front of the pellet stove for the month of December. And while I like being warm, that would be just a little bit too toasty. Just a little bit too toasty. So I opted to go with the pencil tree. Aaron and the girls came over on Tuesday. The girls decorated my tree with all my fruits and vegetables. I have an abundance of glass ornaments. I had this one big tote with all the ornaments on it that I used on the tree last year. I used just a little bit over half of them on this tree. And then I have 3, 4, possibly 5 other totes full of ornaments that I am not using. A couple of them I haven't used for years, but I can't get rid of them because they're pretties. Yeah. The girls decorated my tree for me. My daughter Erin decorated the mantle, and I posted pictures of that on Instagram. I collect Santas too, and a lot of them are pencil Santas, meaning, you know, they're thin. She took a whole bunch of them and put them around a center candle holder as an homage to the Lord of the Rings. Would be a Santa Hobbity Christmas thing. Yeah, but it works for me. It works for me. And then there was First Thursday last week. So those things have all been keeping me busy. And then of course there's the lead up to the big day at the end of the month. And I have been shopping online and shopping in brick and mortar shops and going places with the girls and doing things with the husband and wrapping things, and I have not had much stitchy time. And I honestly don't see getting much stitchy time for the rest of the month because it's December. If I can give anybody advice for this time of the year, remember to take time for yourself, even if it's just 5 minutes, sitting in your car, away from the world, and just breathe. Just breathe. I enjoy going out and sitting in my car for my lunch at work because for a half an hour I'm not listening to intercoms. I'm not being interrupted by people, customers, associates, managers, or anything. That half hour is mine. And sometimes I stretch it out a little bit longer because there's some days that I need it a little bit more. Anyway, some things that I have to get out of the way before we go any further. My last video, I was offering up 2 patterns for giveaways. Roveras and Harvest Brew. I want to talk about my last video for a second though. With all the stuff going on with COPPA, C-O-P-P-A, Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, did I get that right? I went and I clicked the button that said, you know, my video is not for kids. And apparently I clicked something else. And Anita contacted me and said that when she went to watch my video, it came up and said that I may not be suitable for some viewers. That was my reaction. I may not be suitable for some viewers. The funny thing is for the next 5 days, there were absolutely 0 views of my video. 0. Now, when I checked on this, I think the second day or something like that, I checked on it and there had been no views. I thought, well, you know, it is Thanksgiving and people are busy and they're doing stuff. They'll catch up with me by Friday or Saturday. By Sunday, there were still 0 views of my video. And I thought, okay, that's weird. So I went back into YouTube Studio and I started scrolling through, and apparently I hit another button that made that happen. And I thought, you know something? This is more of a hassle than it's worth, so I demonetized my station. So hopefully you have no more ads. If you do, let me know. That means I have to go back in and see what else I need to take care of. But I have never made a penny from recording a video. I don't care. This was never going to be the big money maker of my life. I don't know what is, but this was not it. So anyway, right after I went in and I made those changes back and demonetized, people started watching me again. Isn't that funny how that works? I don't know what I hit wrong, but I did something. Anyway, I had 2 giveaways. And I do what I normally do. I asked my husband to pick a number for me. So the Roveras pattern, this one is a brand new pattern. I bought this and decided it was bigger than I wanted to stitch, so I don't want it. And had 17 people. Mark said number 6. Number 6 is Linda Craig. I think I have your address, Linda. 99% sure I have your address, so I will get that in the mail. The second one, Harvest Brew. I stitched this one 4 or 5 years ago for my niece Rachel. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. 28 people, and he chose number 26, Pam Rosenberry. Rosenberry? Rosenberry. I don't know if I have your address. Anyway, I will comment on both of those comments. Send me your snail mail address. I will get these out in the mail this week, along with everything else I have to do this week. Okay. Um, one of the videos that I did watch, this I was directed to it because of Michelle Bendy, to go look at Melanie Watkins. Michelle was going on about what whip. I did that last week, and I was like, what the heck is she talking about? So I went and checked out Melanie's video. She's got, I think, 6, or when I watched it, there was 6. And she started a group on Facebook called What Whip, with the whole idea being that in 2020, if you join this group, she's limiting it to 74 people, I think she said. Then she's going to divide them into teams of 4, and we can post an album in this group of up to 20 whips. The whole idea is to get 20 stitches on each of them within 2020 to finish 4, and one of them has to be an FFO. And I thought, that sounds like fun. That sounds like something I can do. Last year when the School of Magical Stitches started, I actually joined that group for like 2 days. And when I realized you had to do all this counting, I don't want to count stitches. But to only be required to put in 20 stitches per project throughout the year of 2020, I thought, hey, I could do that. So I joined. And that's going to be one of the things that I'm going to be talking about all of next year. Melanie Watkins is also Soulful Planner Stitching on IG, and I had been following her for a while. I just didn't realize that she had videos. So Melanie Watkins on YouTube, Soulful Planning Stitcher on Instagram. Okay, what have I been working on? There's no notes really for me to go off of. I've got a couple scribbles on a piece of paper, and then I'm going to try to think and get this done. Mark's working today, so I don't have to worry about him being in the house while I record. I understand that some people don't get that it makes me nervous. He doesn't watch my videos, but I don't like him in the house when I record because I'm shy. I am a delicate person. Right after my last video, I started working on this Cour y Batacour Halloween and Cross Stitch. This was the one that was sent to me by Michelle, Maine Moose Mom. Thank you for telling me that you were named after your little dog, who is a 4-pound Yorkie that you named Moose. I loved knowing that. I kind of figured that was the answer. I'm rather disappointed that it's not because you have a herd of moose in your backyard. Does Maine have moose? Yeah. Anyway, so I started to stitch on this. I started this at Fall Fling, and at Fall Fling I just had the top, the orange, and the black inner circle done, and that was all I had gotten done. Everything else has been done since then. And I think this was like 2 days worth of work. But I had moved my fabric over so that I could get to this edge of the fabric, and I'm going to work down and then I'll move across, keeping all the floss in my Bags Plus Floss Buddy Flip. Sometimes getting the brain to work is harder to do than you think. But this is my Yoda bag my Yoda that I'd stitched and sent over, and she made it into a Floss Buddy Flip, and I love this. I love this so much. So that is where I am at on Halloween and cross stitch. At Acorns and Threads, which is the next place that I was able to, the next time I was able to stitch. I do my videos on Monday. I think I worked on Halloween and cross stitch like Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday I had to work. Thursday was Thanksgiving, so it was making pies, prepping stuff to take over there. I worked the weekend. The tree arrived, had to do that stuff, this stuff. I didn't stitch again until I went up to Acorns and Threads first Thursday. I took my Alphonse Mucha with me, and I'm still working on that top border. The top border of the Alphonse Mucha is about 2.5 inches. And I have a picture in here somewhere. The top of the Alphonse Mucha is this top border right here. And I am still working on that. I have just now come down to the inner edge of the border, but this top edge that I'm working on, I'm filling in a bunch of white. I had been trying to do all the confetti stitches on it, and that was working for a while, but it got to the point where there was so much white left to do that I thought, I'll go in and I'll fill in all the white, and then I'll go back and I'll finish the confetti to make it easier to figure out where those stitches are going. You know what I mean. So I'm still working on that top border. I think up there I got 4 lengths of white done on it. So I was pretty pleased with that. We had 18, I think, people at Acorns. I posted a small video of it on Instagram, just a quick tour around the room, not really interviewing anybody or anything like that, just to show how many people were there. They had all 5 tables set out for us, and we were still very close to each other. And with my stand, I was maybe taking up a little bit more room than I could have, but it was still doable. So I worked on that, and when I got tired of the white, because believe me, you can get tired of white really, really fast, I picked up Baltimore. And working down here on this square, I had those 3 bats done, so I finished this bat here, started him, and I'm working on the top bat there. And that's where I'm at with Baltimore. So those were the only 2 pieces that I could take with me to Acorns, because Alphonse Mucha is being stitched on 14 count Aida, Baltimore is on 28 count linen. My other 3 projects that I have, that I showed in my last video, are all on 36 count, and I need magnification for those, and I haven't got a battery yet for my light so that I can take my table light with me to go stitch. So at Acorns, a couple people brought gifts to share, a couple people brought food to share. I was one of the people that brought food. So when I walked in and sat down, I was sitting next to Diane, and Stephanie, Stitch Goes My Heart, handed me this, a cute little needle minder, Thanksgiving needle minder that she made. And then Diane had a tray. It looked like she had a tray of candy sitting in front of her, a cookie tray. She had parchment paper on it and everything, and they were little needle minders. So she said, take one, and I took the little dragon because he's adorable. And then I turn around and I'm putting stuff away underneath the table so that I'm not taking up so much room, and I look up and here's a package, a wrapped package in front of it, and from Wendy Neverland, she made these beautiful little snowman project bags. She stitches beautifully. I mean, she really, really does. It's got a very pale interior. Oh, there's something else in there. What's in there? Oh, it's just a tag. Very pale interior, nice quilted front. Very nice. Thank you, Wendy. Beth Twist was there, and she passed out some postcards. We got to take some postcards. So I took one. These are photos that she's taken. One with tomatoes, sewing tomatoes. One of floss. I think this is gorgeous. And then one of her stitch work. I got this one because there's a squirrel. I'm one of those people. Oh, look, a squirrel. And then Melissa came by and dropped off this little goodie that's got a little pair of scissors, some DMC Etoile floss in the back of it. So, ladies, thank you very much for those. Like I said, I was one of the people that took food. My neighbor next door, my friend Linda, she likes to post recipes on Facebook. And she had posted a picture of cranberry brie bites. So I posted it on my Facebook, and I do that so that I can find recipes. Because, you know, it's the way I find things. Anyway, my daughter Erin saw it and wanted me to bring some of those for Thanksgiving, so I tried them. I made them Thursday morning, and then I took them up to Acorns and Threads. So easy. I'm going to post the link below, but you use crescent dough pastry, wheel of brie, and whole berry cranberry sauce. And it also called for pecans on top of it. When I took them up to Acorns and Threads, half of them had pecans on it, half of them did not, so people could choose whether they wanted that or not. Very, very simple to make. I think I'm going to try them again for Christmas, but I'm thinking that instead of the whole berry cranberry sauce, I want to try jalapeno jelly. I think it'd be tasty. Alrighty, and I did do a little bit of shopping up there. So, Diane, who I was sitting next to, when she saw what I was buying, she kind of commented on, "Who are you and where is the Audrey that we know and love?" kind of thing, because I bought a Christmas pattern. It is the Abby Rose Designs Merry Christmas. I like this because it's simple. There are so many beautiful Christmas patterns out there, and here's my Barbara Anna that I finished with the prairie points. I don't do a lot of Christmas stitching. When it comes to the patterns, it really, really has to grab my attention. And I had been seeing a whole bunch of people posting this, and I'd seen some finishes of this, and I liked it, so I bought it. And I decided that I'm going to stitch mine on Weeks Dye Work 32 count Havana. I think that that will just be absolutely gorgeous on that. I love Havana. I've used Havana for many things. I love it. And then I also bought some wool squares while I was up there, because I have that Scary Berry to finish. I've never finished one of those. I have no idea how to finish one of those. We were talking about it, but I still don't know what I'm doing, so it's sitting upstairs waiting to be finished at some point. When somebody either tells me how to do it, shows me how to do it, or I get up the nerve to try it on my own. So, the rabbit hole that I have fallen down. I'm looking at Mark's chair across the way from me. I went out. I had a doctor's appointment this morning. My 6-month checkup, you know, make sure everything's good and all that kind of fun stuff. And I got the second half of my shingles vaccine. So I'm sure my left shoulder will be starting to ache in just a little while. The first one I got, my shoulder ached for 3 days. And I have so much stuff to do. I don't need an aching shoulder, but you know, whatever. Anyway, on Mark's chair over there is a stack of stuff that I have been buying because of this rabbit hole I am falling into. A couple months ago, Lori McClary, textilist, asked me if I had ever done any junk journaling. Now, I'd heard of that before, and I think I'd watched maybe one video of somebody doing it, and, you know, that was pretty much my knowledge of it. So, after my last video, when I had some free time one day, I typed in a YouTube search on how to make a junk journal. And I watched video after video after video after video after video, and I went to bed thinking about making them, and I woke up thinking about making them, and the next day when I had some errands to run, I went out and I bought a bunch of paper to make them, and then I came home and I watched more videos, and then I went to First Thursday and I was talking with Lisa Smith about this, and she goes, "Oh, have you seen that Michelle Rudy is doing them?" So then I had to go watch Michelle Rudy, her Vlogmas, and just to see what she's doing with junk journaling. Asked her a couple of questions. Went out, did some more shopping for the holidays, picked up some more stuff for making these junk journals. After my doctor's appointment today, I went to Goodwill and I found a stack of white paper, long white paper, for $3, that if I don't use it for junk journaling, the girls can use it for drawing on. I found an old photo album that's got these really neat textured pages that I think would be kind of fun to play with. And then I went over to the craft store and I picked up this, that, and the other thing, and it's like, I haven't made one yet. But I think I've spent about $80 on stuff for them these last 2 weeks. I did make some pockets upstairs the other night just to see how those go. So I am about to fall into the junk journaling hole. Yeah. We shall see what happens. I have ideas. It's like my brain is going, yes, you could do this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And oh my God, yeah, I could do that. Like I need another hobby, right? Anyway, that's what I'm going to be playing with if I can find time. I've got more stuff upstairs that needs to be wrapped to be put underneath the tree. I have one granddaughter coming over this afternoon after school to work on a Christmas present for her mom. Tomorrow the other one is supposed to come over after school to work on a Christmas present for her mom. I have housework. I need to vacuum so bad. And I have no idea what I'm going to do or when I'm going to do it. I have no idea when I'm going to have any stitching time. So I've decided that I'm going to give myself a break for the rest of the year and come back after the first of the year with my next video, because I think the way things are going, what I showed you today is probably what you would see in the next video. If that changes, there'll be another video between now and the end of the year. If not, I will see you right after the beginning of the year. So, no matter what holiday you celebrate, I am wishing everyone for the best. As for me, I'm going to wish you all happy Halloween. Live long and stitch on, my friends. I'll be back after the first of the year. Bye-bye.